Yes, don't forget to check out Doggie Diamonds No Filter, the actual audio version of this podcast that can be heard on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify. Also, we're on SoundCloud. So those links are below in the description box. Go there if you've never been there before. Subscribe to your favorite podcast streaming application, as well as if you on your own and you don't like Apple Podcasts or Spotify, just go look on your favorite podcast streaming platform and just put in Doggie Diamonds No Filter and you'll get the podcast right there. Also, for $100, I'll promote whatever you need on my social media, my website. It's my Twitter, Facebook, Insta Stories, YouTube community, and my website, www.doggiediamondstv.com. Hit me up on Instagram at Doggie Diamonds for your promo. Serious inquiries only. Must be Cash App ready. Let's get to it. I'm here early, really quick. Well, it's not early. It's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Not staying on here long, but I just wanted to come kick it with y'all really quick. I'm not going to do a long intro or anything like that. It's mostly for the people who's here in the chat. Shout out to you. And people that's going to watch on the playback. I'm trying to get my damn lighting right. I got something to work on. But yeah, all right, stop the music. What's up, everybody? I go by the name of Doggie Diamonds. This is Doggie Diamonds TV, Doggie Diamonds No Filter podcast. Hopefully everybody's having a good day. Hopefully everybody will have a better day tomorrow. I just came on here really quick to talk to people. Tomorrow's a big day in the world. Many people dread this day. Some people have been dreading it their whole life. Some people recently started dreading it. Some people this might be the first time you're dreading it. This might be the 10th time, the 5th time. But every time the day comes along, it never gets easy. It never is a day that that you look forward to. I remember when I was a kid growing up, losing my mother at 2 years old. I remember when I was old enough to understand dates and holidays, I would look for that day on the calendar, and I would look for Mother's Day. I always knew it was in May. I knew my mother's birthday was May 1st, but I knew Mother's Day was in May as well, and I would just look for that day. I always knew it was a Sunday. So this would be the time, unfortunately, where I grew myself not to be happy, which was a bad thing to do, but nobody ever taught me to be happy. Nobody ever told me that, it's okay. Nobody never told me that. So sometimes you can manifest your grief, and sometimes you can manifest your sorrow by looking forward to something that's going to make you grieve and feel sad. Nobody told me that. Listen, that day is coming around every year, whether you like it or not. So you have to find a way to cope with the day and get through it, because you're going to deal with it next year and next year and the year after that and the year after that. If you're like me and Mother's Day has haunted you your whole life, I'm just telling you, it doesn't have to haunt you. It doesn't have to bother you. You're going to be a little bothered. The loss of your mother is very big, irreplaceable. Whether it was due to sickness, due to something tragic, or natural causes, or the loss of being distant and not knowing them when they pass away. We have different ways of losing people, but it's not easy. It's nothing to deal with. It's not easy to deal with. It's very difficult, because on this day tomorrow, if you go outside, and some people like myself have hid for years, just didn't go outside, didn't participate, didn't even want to say Happy Mother's Day to other people because you're not my mother. And then I learned to celebrate mothers, because most women is somebody's mother. So although you're not my mother, you're somebody's mother. So let's just celebrate Mother's Day for the mothers. I learned to take myself out of it and make it not about me and about mothers. And that's how I was able to get through. That's how I'm able to say Happy Mother's Day tomorrow. I remember my sister, rest in peace to my sister, one day she was like, why you don't go on your Facebook and say Happy Mother's Day to everybody? And I remember looking at her like, well, I don't know who the fuck you talking to, for one. For two, I'm not saying Happy Mother's Day to nobody because I don't got my mother, neither do you. So I don't even know why we saying Happy Mother's Day to people. But because I was such in the mind state of dreading this day, dreading this moment, dreading this anticipation of this day, I made it about me. And Mother's Day is not about you. Yeah, you might have suffered a loss, but many of you could remember your mother. You could remember your mother's touch. You could remember your mother's laugh, her smell, her cooking, her face. I don't have none of those memories. I don't have one memory. So I have to use imagination. I have to look at pictures. I got to look at a picture of a woman that has, well, I have their face, I have their teeth, I have their smile. And it makes me happy now that is somebody, to know that somebody gave birth to me. And that's the reason why I'm here. How I became so intelligent, because I got their DNA. How my hair texture is the way it is. My nose is the way it is. My lips are the way they are because I get it from them. That's the joy that I was able to find in the day. So if you had your mother for 5 years of your life, 10 years of your life, 25, 30 years, it's not a day to grieve. It's a day to remember the person that gave birth to you. It's the day to remember, my mother, like, let me tell you how I cope with the death of my brother. I always say, my brother was full of shit. like he would lie and he would say, I'm not lying, but you are lying. But that was the joy of him, because he was King Cap, and many of you, whether your mother, some of y'all mother might have suffered from substance abuse. Some of your mother might have been distant. Some of you were raised by your grandmothers. Some of your mother was not in your life, but still your mother. And if you look at your mother in a way other than being your mother, and you didn't respect your mother and care about your mother, then you shouldn't be sad anyway. But if you loved and respected your mother, I understand your sadness, but you have to find a way to cope with the sadness, because it doesn't get any easier. It doesn't go away. It'll be back next year. It'll be 2024 Mother's Day, 2025 Mother's Day, 2026 Mother's Day. It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. So get you a picture, play a favorite song. You remember a perfume, spray the perfume, put it on your pillowcase, play a favorite song, wear a favorite color, get a favorite flowers, cook a favorite food, and just have a smile on your face, because that's the person who gave birth to you. And no matter how they were to you, whether they were loving, the best, or unfortunately they would be, what some people would deem to be the worst, they still was your mother. And that's what the day is for. The day is a celebration of mothers. Of course, we didn't make the day up. We didn't make the date up. But you still have to be joyous, and you can't spoil it for people who have their mother. And then there's other people who don't have their mother just like you. So yeah, you lost your mother, but so did other people. So what makes your loss more special than somebody else's loss? Like, nobody losing their mother is greater. And that's what I always try to, talk about. Like, when we deal with pain and trauma, we try to put it on the scale. Like, my pain is worse than your pain, and my trauma is worse than your trauma. Then you know what? Let's just be traumatized together. That's not how that works. It's something I've been dealing with my whole life. And it never was easy for me. Like, I would really just hide. Literally, I would hide. I would just go somewhere and just not deal with it. I would just disappear. I would go in a room. I would just go do something to where I didn't have to deal with it and cope with it. But it's just not going anywhere. And also, many of us have had a mother figure, whether it was a in-law, a neighbor, a grandmother, an auntie. Many of us had mother figures. So celebrate them. Think about it. If your mother had a choice to be with you or leave you, she would have chose you. But life is a lot of ebbs and flows, a lot of difficulties in life, and sometimes we blame people for life, but some people's life is hard. Some people's life is hard, and if you look like your mother, be happy about that. Be happy that you have the opportunity to walk around with their face. If you cook like your mother, if you laugh like your mother, if you got your mother's fingers or toes or dialect or whatever, be happy because now your mother's not gone. She's living through you. Your mother is gone in the physical, but the spirit and the essence is in you now. Now it's up to you to take what she gave you via DNA and birth and keep it going. So don't even be sad tomorrow. Be happy. Not that they're gone, but be happy that a piece of you, a piece of you went with them, but everything with them stays with you. So you gotta you can't don't be sad, don't feel down, and have your moment. If you feel like having your moment, if you feel like you want to cry, I don't tell people not to cry. I'm not going to tell you to drink. I'm not going to tell you to smoke. I'm not going to tell you to do the things that I know is not going to make it any easier, because you think some of those things make it easy, and it actually doesn't. It makes it harder. But be happy. Like, commemorate your mother. What was her favorite food? Eat it tomorrow. Eat it tomorrow. What was her drink? Make that drink tomorrow. I don't care if it was Kool-Aid or sweet ass iced tea. But make it tomorrow. What did she like? What was her song? What was her perfume? What was her favorite dress? Where did she like to go? What was her TV show? Do it tomorrow. You're gonna be all right. You don't have no choice, because next year it's coming back around. It's coming back around. And if she's deceased, go visit her. Go to the grave, put some fresh flowers on there. Thank them. Thank them because you're still here. And just like Daniel Addison said, go to the gravesite, thank them, give them some fresh flowers. Go there and give your offering, because now that's your ancestor. It's also your mother, but now it's your ancestor. And talk to them. Talk to them. Let them know that, you still need them, still guide you, still come to you in your dreams, give you a sign. Sometimes we have little things that they talk to us from the other side. I'm not being spooky or anything, but it's little things that the other side speak to you. You might see a number all the time. You might see a specific, a heart in the sky. You might see something. That's them talking to you. Talk to them, yeah? They listening. They hear you. The spirit doesn't ever go anywhere. The energy never goes anywhere. So, again, I've been dealing with this my whole life. I think I'm kind of qualified to tell people how to cope with it. And it didn't, nobody taught me how to cope with it. It was just always, oh, he's not going to be happy this day. He's going to be sheltered. He's going to go away. And not me. Now I embrace it. Now I'm happy, because the funniest thing about it is that for so many years, people see me deal with it, and then they lost their mother, and they say, damn, now I know how you felt all this long. And it's funny how you were so strong, But I tell people strength is when that's all you have. It's either sink or swim. If you don't swim, you're going to sink. So I always choose, even though I can't swim, but I'm just using that as a metaphor. I don't have time to sulk. I don't have time to put my head down. I don't have time to, go into a shell. I don't have, some of us can't do that. We don't work. We don't eat. We don't produce. There's no production. We don't create. There's no creations. So we pour ourselves into our work, into ourselves, whether it's exercise, meditation, different things to cope with what's going on. So when I see people that crawl into a ball, I'm kind of, empathetic towards them, but I say, man, I wish, I can't even crawl into a ball, because if I do, is there is nobody to take care of me. There is no system that could take care of me. There is no person that can help me. I can only help me, so it might not even be your mother. It might be grandma, it might be auntie. They was all mothers. And if you didn't lose your mother, and somebody that you're close to lost their mother, whether it's your cousin, whether it's your mother that lost their mother, uplift spirits tomorrow. Uplift spirits. Everybody, smile and find a way. Like I said, it's about celebrating somebody, not about crying about somebody. Not, I remember my sister used to say how she missed my grandmother. My grandmother passed away a long, long time ago. And, I didn't say, I didn't have, I didn't have the right to tell her how to feel. I didn't have the right to tell her, don't miss her. But I did say to her, if you miss her, and my grandmother, Umi, loved us to death. That's the one from Staten Island, Park Hill. She loved us. That was my father's mother. She loved us to death, and I was her favorite because I was the baby. But my way is celebrating them, as I know they proud as hell of me. I know like I'm the baby who was the baby who just made so much of himself. Like when I used to get teased, literally teased for being so intelligent as a child. Look what it produced. Look at what that intelligence produced. Look at my creativity. Look when I was sitting there writing poetry and I was writing plays at 9 years old. When I was drawing, when I was doing all this stuff, look what it produced. So now it all means something. Now the ends justify the means. It wasn't done in vain. And I remember my grandmother was like my biggest supporter. My grandmother never told me no. That's the one that Method Man always talks about. Yo, my grandmother never told me no. I never heard what no was. That's why my niece, I'm sorry, everybody know I love my niece. I never tell her no, whatever she asked me for. I remember I was leaving the house one day and I said, what do you want from the store? And she said, I want a dollhouse. Baby want a dollhouse. I got to go get her a dollhouse. I got to go to 10 different stores if I have to get her a dollhouse. And from what my grandmother instilled in me, always gave me the confidence to be who I was. I didn't have a mother, so all I had was grandmothers and aunts. And then my father's mother passed away, and my last memory of my grandmother was she had lung cancer. That's why I'm so against smoking. That's why I try to tell people to stop smoking, because I've seen the effects of lung cancer, and it's not pretty. But I remember I went to see her. She was on oxygen. She still was able to walk around. And my grandmother would call me. I was a little kid, and she would always keep potatoes and Hebrew National or Boar's Head franks in the house. Pause. Because that's when I was little. I would boil them, cut the franks up, and fry my own potatoes into French fries and just put ketchup on everything and eat it. So from the time I was a little kid to I was a grown ass man, every time I speak to her, I got your potatoes here for even when I stop eating it, I feel like, oh, man, I don't eat that no more. But she's like, I got your Franks here for you and I got your potatoes. So when you come, you could just cook. And I used to be like, okay, I'll come. But I remember the last memory that I had of her was my grandmother was nice in chess. She was nice in chess. So I played my grandmother in chess. So we sat there, she had an oxygen tank, and we played chess. The first game, I won. So I was like, I beat my grandmother. She nice. And then she was like, no, let's play another one. Second game, she smoked me. And before I was going to play a third game with her, I said, you know what? Let's not play a third game because I don't want to win. And I don't want you to win. And I don't want to lose. I don't want you to win. We both won. So it's a tie. Let's just leave it like that. Nobody won, nobody lost. You beat me, I beat you, you beat me. It's a tie. And we just left it like that. And I still remember Capadonna talked to me about that. Shout out to Capadonna and Lounge. My grandmother used to wear a Muslim cologne called Baby Powder Musk. But it was a Muslim cologne. Not Muslim oil, my bad. In New York, people don't always wear cologne, they wear Muslim oils. And the whole side of her building, 160 Park Hill, the OO building that everybody, 16 OO, the whole 6th floor smelled like her apartment. You can go in her apartment and leave and smell like her apartment. That's how strong it was in the house. But it wasn't a scent that was intrusive. It wasn't a scent, but it was just, she would wash her clothes with it. I would see her go in the shower. When she went in the shower in her room, she would take the oil. She would come out, she would be dressed, but she would use the oil. She would use the oil like how you would use baby oil, like how you would use lotion. She would wear it. So every aspect of her smelled like baby powder musk. And I remember, I used to burn it. I used to get it. Like, this remind me of my grandmother. And like my cousins used to say, damn, I still remember the smell of her house because it was that was just her. So anywhere you was at, I remember going and I would go and say, Umi was here? They say, yeah, how you know? I said, I smell her. So that's what it would be. Umi was here. Where Umi go? Oh, she just left. How y'all know? Because we smell her. That oil, you just smell it. And it was like, it's a nice smell. And I remember one year I got my oil burner and I just bought the oil and I just burned it. And I was like, this is what she used to wear. So again, I have things of some of my ancestors that I can utilize and use. I remember calling a house, salam alaikum. that was it. You know what I'm saying? And I never was with it. So I'd be like, hello, salam. I'm like, hey, Umi. Oh, who's this? And I still remember her number, 816-7057. And then it was 718-816-7057. She had that number since 1983. I never forgot that number. I always knew in my life, if I ever got in any trouble in life, 816-7057 from a little kid. She moved in Park Hill in 1983. I always remembered 816-7057. To this day, I still remember. If I call my cousin right now, I should call him too. Hold on. Let me call my cousin. This is how real it is. Let me call my cousin live. Yo, I'm live on YouTube. I'm telling a story about Umi for Mother's Day. Do you remember her number?
Umi's phone number?
Yes.
Nah, I don't.
Yes, you do. I'm going to say it to you. I bet you remember it. 816-7057.
That's right.
But remember, because remember, it was no 718 back then.
Right. It wasn't.
Yeah, but I was telling them how we remembered when she was around somewhere, Cause we smell her. Like Umi was here, right? You're like, yeah, cause we remember the baby powder must.
Oils smelled real nice.
Yep.
And the house smelled the same way.
The whole house.
Was it 6H or
6P. It was 6P.
yeah.
Yeah, I was just telling them the story. Like we knew when she was around. When you get off the elevator in Park Hill, you smell her apartment.
You smell her apartment. But everybody know Umi.
Yes.
Everybody. You couldn't live in Park Hill and not know Umi.
Yep.
No, I don't even know if you touched on it, but you think just about every interview Method Man talks about moving to Staten Island because of Umi.
Yeah, I told them before. You got that clip too, right? Yeah, matter of fact, send that to me too. I got to put that up there. It's on your...
Yeah, I'm driving right now.
No, it's on your Facebook, right?
Yes.
I'm going to go snatch it. All right, I'll hit you later on.
All right.
Yep. All right. So that's my first cousin from my mother's side. I'm talking about my grandmother from my father's side, my father's mother, but she treated him like a grandson too, because, you know, black families, we don't play that. This is my stepbrother. We don't do that. Or that's my step cousin. We don't do that. Or my half. We don't do that. Like, it's either your brother, your cousin, or they not. But, man, my grandmother used to, you know, like Park Hill, you ask Raekwon and them, they all know my grandmother. Seriously. You know, so, I just wanted to share that with y'all. Like, it is, a lot of, my Aunt Hazel, I remember my Aunt Hazel, you know, rest in peace to my Aunt Hazel. That's my mother's youngest sister who passed away. I remember going to Aunt Hazel's house, and Aunt Hazel's house looked like the Jeffersons. I never forget, she lived in like a high-rise apartment in Queens with terraces, so we used to call it like the Jeffersons' house. So, you know, it is a lot of good memories, and when I think, like I said, when I think about these women who passed on, now they're my ancestors, and I still speak to them. I remember my Aunt Gwen, shout out to my Aunt Gwen, was like, yo, talk to your mother. And when I was young, I didn't understand what she was saying. She'd be like, yo, trust me, your mother is listening to you. Talk to her. Ask her for anything you want. Ask her for it. Any guidance, any sign. She's listening to. She like, listen, you are her baby. You know, you are her baby. She's not going to, even though she's not here physically with you, she ain't going to leave you. None of your brothers and sisters, but you were her baby before she passed away. She, you know, essentially succumbed to sickness and she had to leave her baby, you know, so talk to her, you know. And I remember like growing up, after a while, I just started, you know, like, listen, I don't know what you're doing right now, but I just need your guidance on stuff, you know. I need you to give me clarity. I need you to give me clarity. And it would, you know, certain things will come to me in my sleep. Or something about me and running water. I don't really know the correlation. I got to study a little bit more, but something about if I hear running water, everything just gets clear, you know. So y'all have that too. It's not something that I possess that you don't have. Y'all all got it too. So, you know, if your mother's gone, your grandmother's gone, your favorite auntie, your cousin, talk to them. Ask them for guidance. Ask them for a sign. Ask them to come to you. They gonna show up. You know, they gonna show up. And it might not be. It's never gonna be in the physical. It might be in a dream. It might be something, you know, you know, and I'm not talking about monetary. I'm not talking about help me with this job. Just sometimes for clarity, because my Aunt Peaches, who passed away, that was just his mother. My cousin I was just talking to, that's his mother. This is like their second year for Mother's Day without their mother. And she had all the damn answers. But that was my mother's baby sister who just passed away 2 years ago. So I don't feel down. I don't feel bad. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel down. I don't feel bad. I'm not happy, but I got so much material to go off of. And I remember my grandmother, Umi, would never let me forget my mother. She knew I didn't have no memories. She knew I was the baby. So she would just, your mother this, your mother that, your mother this, your mother. And so she just kept it she kept me fresh with anything, learning of who my mother was and what it was. And they would even call me, they would call me my mother name. They would call me that. And I'd be like, why do they keep calling me that? And I didn't understand. And the way reincarnation works is so funny because, this is me and Zuri, as you know. My mother's nickname was Honey. I put a picture of Zuri on Facebook one day, and one of my mother friends was like, yo, she looked just like Honey. I never got it before because people always say, yo, you and Zuri look exactly alike, but I tell you, I look like my mother. So if I look like my mother and Zuri look like me, then the lady was like, damn, she looked like her. And you, if I tell you what Zuri's nickname is, it'll fuck your head up because she has the same nickname as my mother, and her mother didn't even know my mother nickname, my mother nickname. She just started calling her that. But they call Zuri Honeybee. So it was just like the way the world works, the way, DNA works, the way, the way it works is deep. You know what I'm saying? So, then I look at Zuri sometimes, I'll be like, you was, because with the day Zuri, like when she was born, I just automatically attached myself to her. When she was a baby, it's like, oh no, something about this little girl draws me to her. I didn't even know what it was. And I'm like, you my cousin, but I'm also your godfather. That's another one I don't tell no to. So, I just wanted to share that with y'all. Anybody who lost their mother, their grandmother, their auntie, their cousin, don't feel down tomorrow. Don't feel bad tomorrow. Take your minute, reflect as you have to, but do what you have to do. Do what you have to do to smile, because there's so much to smile for. And remember them lessons that some of them that they taught you too, because now you need them more than ever. Remember the lessons they gave you, because a lot of times they was trying to give you the lessons and the jewels, and you might not understood it. You might not understand what they was saying. Don't it make so much damn sense right now? Don't some of them lectures you was getting, don't some of them rants you was getting, then some of that anger you was getting, some of them ass whoopings you might have got, some of them, the yelling, don't it make so much sense now? It makes so much, right now it makes so much sense. You be like, God damn, what I wouldn't give to get yelled at. You know what I'm saying? What I wouldn't give to get yelled at, what I wouldn't give to hear that voice one more time. So if you still have it, don't take it for granted, because when it's going, you're gonna miss it. And I think about my I think about Umi. I think it was cleanliness and I love of cooking. And she used to just always say, listen, I don't care what you cook. Just put onions and green peppers in it and saute it with a little butter. So the funniest thing is, like, my brother, my sister, rest in peace to them, and then my other sister, we always got onions and green peppers. We don't got nothing else. It's been times where we made white rice with onions and green peppers sauteed in it. It's like, damn, this tastes good. But that's what she did. So she used to teach it. She taught us how to cook. She taught us so much, and I'm thankful, and I still remember her saying stuff to me. I still can remember her voice. I still can remember her yelling at me about stuff. I still remember, the lessons that she gave me. And when you go against what they taught you, you're going to suffer, because they was teaching you right. They was teaching you about your friends. They was teaching you about trust. They was teaching you about cleanliness. They was teaching you about money. They was teaching you about a lot of stuff. And they was teaching you about independence, and they was preparing you for this day. And many times we rebelled and didn't want to listen. And damn, what you wouldn't give right now to hear that scolding, that yelling, and them lessons. But you still have them in you. You just got to recall, and you got to say, you know what? I heard this before. You know what I'm saying? I heard this before. I know this before, and I said my grandmother Umi she wasn't no joke. She wasn't no joke, and she taught me what family was about. She taught me that us staying together and us being close was the biggest thing that could happen to us, and she could throw down in that kitchen too, man. Like I miss that food. And then I like what I loved about her is she wasn't judgmental. My grandmother was Muslim for my whole life that I always remember. I never been Muslim before, but she never judged what I ate. I remember being little, like, what you want to eat? I'm like, me, I want a ham and cheese. And she never said, ugh. She was just like, all right, get a ham and cheese. And then one day she said, when you get older, you might stop eating that. And I said, why? She said, because you might learn stuff that'll make you not eat that no more, but eat what you want to eat. You know what I'm saying? Eat what you want to eat. When you're ready, I can tell you some stuff, when you're ready, because she never forced me into anything. She just would force me into taking a bath. Because when I was little, I ain't like taking a bath. Little boys, we just dirty, and I was light skinned, so they'd be like, you got in the tub? I'd be like, yeah, like, come here. I got a ring around my neck and shit, you know what I'm saying, from outside playing. That little crease you get in your neck as a kid, it'd be dirty. I had those. They'd be like, if you don't go get your ass in that tub. And my grandmother, we used to love to watch movies. We love to watch movies. I think that's why I don't watch movies like that now, because, we used to watch movies with her. We used to go rent tapes and just watch movies, like, and her favorite genre was horror, just like me. That's where I get it from. I was real little. My grandmother took me to see Purple Rain, and when the sex scenes used to come on, or the nudity, she never hid my eyes. My father would hide my eyes. My grandmother would be like, man, leave him alone. So I remember seeing Apollonia titties. I was like, I like those, whatever those are. So that was the blame on me. But yeah, she just didn't censor me. She didn't allow me to curse or be disrespectful. When I first started producing, she said, listen, I don't know what you could do with these records, but I got a closet full of records, and I hear you making that music. Maybe you could use these records for something. Now, anybody know, as a producer, crate digging, my grandmother records? Woo, we gonna get some gems out of this. So I remember going there and just going to get all these records from her. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, again. Oh, and my love of wrestling comes from Umi. My love of wrestling definitely comes from, because we used to watch wrestling every Saturday. Every Saturday, I used to go to her house every weekend. Every weekend, I would spend the weekend with her in Park Hill, and I used to cut through. There used to be a walkway in Park Hill, and on Targee Street was a video store. Anybody who know about Staten Island, you know what I'm talking about, the video store on Targee Street. And I used to go to the video store by myself. I used to walk to the video store, used to get 3 rental tapes, and you get 1 for free. And I used to sit there and watch the movies. And I remember she would have to take me home because I had to go to school. And I remember Murder, She Wrote used to always be coming on. But I hated Murder, She Wrote, because when Murder, She Wrote came on, it was time for me to go home. And I used to just have mad fun. She would just buy me ice cream. And she knew that as long as I had some potatoes and some Hebrew Nationals or some Boar's Head in the refrigerator, I was going to eat. And yeah, we used to watch wrestling. We used to, and she bought me every wrestling doll there was. She bought me the Ring. She bought me Iron Sheik. She bought me Hulk Hogan, King Kong Bundy, Superfly Jimmy Snuka, Big John Studd, Nikolai Volkov. Every wrestling doll, she bought them for me. She bought me a lot of Mad magazines. So again, when I think about her and I think about Mother's Day, I just be like, you know what? As sad as it was on one end, it also was, I had a joyous person in my life, and she did so much for me. And again, she never told me no. And she bought me a Nintendo. She bought me everything. Maybe that's why I am the way I am with the children now. Like, Uncle, I want. I'm like, okay, get it. Uncle, I want a toy, a doll is $80. All right, get her the doll. Take my credit card, get her the doll. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Uncle, I want popcorn. Get him the popcorn. You know, whatever you want. You know, and I say to them all the time, whatever you want, Uncle gonna buy you. Don't even worry about it. Don't even think twice. If you want it, Uncle got it. You know, that's why Uncle works so hard. So sometimes when I see them, I say, all right, Uncle gotta go to work. He gotta earn y'all money. Y'all the bosses. Y'all kids are the boss. So I work for y'all, definitely. So I just wanted to leave y'all with that today. Many of you, I don't want y'all grieving tomorrow. I want y'all, you know, again, you know, for ladies, if your mother had a hairstyle and you know how to emulate it, pin your hair up like that, comb your hair like that. Do that. If your mother had a scarf, a favorite color, just do things in the memory and smile and laugh and be happy that, you know, not that they're gone, but be happy that they were once here and they instilled so much in you. And a lot of you, you know, you might have your mother's attitude. You might have your mother's, you might pronounce a word the way she did. You might, you know, it's different things that's in you. There's nothing you can do about that. That's DNA. That's lineage. There's nothing you can do about that. So again, instead of tomorrow, you're using that day to be down, put your head down and be upset. Nah, use the day, you know, take your reflection, meditate. You know, like I said, if you feel like crying, if it's a memory that makes you sad, go through it, but get through it. Don't take the day being sad. You know, just do what you got to do. And for y'all who have your mother, we're not gonna put classifications. We're not gonna put real mother or mothers that, you know, is Mother's Day. So anybody that's a mother. So how I celebrate it, anybody who's a mother, I just say Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother to everybody. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. You know, and that's it. So yeah, I gotta go. Just wanted to holler at y'all real quick. Till later on.